Ready.
Hey audience, the purpose of today's session is to introduce you to somebody very interesting. I met her very recently, I think Friday, and
Yes.
today is Sunday. And
Yes.
uh, as much as I admire her life purpose and what she dedicates professionally, I actually admire her communication skills and the way she puts things together. I mean, she said something to me that was so true, it was so straightforward, but it's just that nobody before had presented me this thought in such a way. So she has the art of public speaking, and her profession is more on the lines of helping people get fitter, sharper, without any extra storage. But I'm not going to say that tagline, that slogan. I'm gonna introduce Shirley to begin with the tagline that she said to me the other day, and then we can begin the conversation from there.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, and it was fun meeting you. It was fun talking with you. And this just kind of is just a part of me. So I'm always curious what really taps into the interest. But what I say is nobody's meant to have storage. That's just extra weight on your body that you've used eating out of order. And people said, but when food tastes so good, I want to keep eating it. Or they might say, but how do you stop when I just want to keep eating? And I say, when I work with clients, they start really understanding that eating beyond what your body needs is not where it's meant to be. So when I hear those words, it tastes so good, I can't stop. I say, you have robbed taste instead of using your other four pleasure senses for your pleasure. Because once you start robbing taste and eating beyond what your body needs, because no one's meant to have extra storage, that is not comfortable. It does not feel good. It does not feel good to move in it. And so we're just not meant to have it. So when I talked about using taste in order, once you start putting eating in order, that extra storage will go away. And the reason we have an issue with taste is because we have forgotten about all of the pleasure senses. We have sound, we have sight, we have touch, we have smell, we have unlimited uses for all those other pleasure senses, so that when we need more pleasure, which is what you're saying is, but it tastes so good, I want to keep eating. But once you use eating out of order, it starts taking away your life instead of giving you life. And now you become frustrated. Now your mental state becomes very frustrated. And the very thing that was meant to give you pleasure starts taking away your pleasure. So I'm always working with putting eating back in order, which means we have very specific boundaries with taste. It's very clear cut when we are born. When an infant's born, we're born with these boundaries. When the infant feels hunger, they start eating. When they're no longer hungry, when hunger has gone away, they want to stop eating. Those are the boundaries. We just stopped listening, and we started robbing taste to be used for all those other pleasure senses that we were given at birth and our own thoughts and actions.
I love the way you begin this conversation by the extra storage, and we're not supposed to have it. And I totally understand that why most fit people, rather than focusing on just food and drinks, they start shifting the focus towards sight, towards listening, towards smelling, especially the fragrance. Most fit people that I know, they pay attention to all the senses rather than just the taste. So as a result, they enjoy a holistic, pleasurable life because they eat food that tastes, they smell fragrances that they like, they see beautiful things, they travel, and also they listen to good music, they have a better music choice. So you get to enjoy holistically when you engage all the senses and receive pleasure from all.
That's absolutely correct because when you taste and think about it, I always want people to have lots of pleasure when they stop eating. But if you've overeaten, now all you're feeling is that uncomfortable feeling. So now it has destroyed pleasure.
Okay.
So it's like I say, I want people to have three pleasures, not just one, not just the taste of the food, but also the great feel in your body when you have stopped and you feel that lightness, you're no longer hungry, but you're not crowded. And also the confidence to know that you didn't use taste out of order. You didn't use it beyond what it was meant for. What it was meant for when we were born. And that infant, if you watch that infant, they have a very strong stop. They will spit it out. They will throw it. They could care less how big you are, what degree you have. They could care less what diaper size they have. They're not thinking about anything, but that hunger has gone away. They want to stop eating.
Totally, and I think why not? Why not uh, eat in moderation and the rest of the pleasure receive it from other sources. Go travel, go buy a new perfume, or get a scented candle. There are so many ways to enjoy each and every pleasure. Listen to good music, and you will not feel that there is less pleasure because you are getting pleasure from these other sources that now you don't need to abuse your stomach and make your physical body feel very uncomfortable.
That's absolutely correct. And I want to tell you a cute
Yes.
story. He was a CEO of a company and he understood hunger. I bet I have all these tools that talk about hunger. And so he knew he wasn't hungry at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He said, but Shirley, 2 o'clock rolls around and I can't think of anything but to eat something. He said, what do I do? I said, okay. I said, if now remember, he's the CEO of a company. I said, if eating didn't exist right now, what would you do? And and he said, you know what? You asked me that, and I've run companies. I know what I would. This doesn't make any sense. I feel like I'm in a corner and I don't have an answer. And I said, exactly, because when you use eating out of order, it's gone above and become stronger than your own thoughts and actions, and has buried your even awareness of what else you could possibly do. I said, so let's just say for now, eating doesn't exist. Start thinking, what would you imagine that you could possibly do when you don't eat? I said, you got to start brainstorming because your creative mind has been blocked by that food. It's been blocked because you used it instead of using your own thoughts and actions. So now it's bearing all your information. So as he started thinking, he thought, oh, I could walk down the hall, or I could just have one of those little stones that I rub because a repetitive action that you know how to do calms you. He said, or I could look out the window. I said, now it's starting to roll off your tongue because we took eating out of that moment. Because it's about that moment that you get stuck thinking, all I want to do is eat. Only thing that will make me feel good to move me past this moment is to eat.
Well, that is the story of many people, and I would like to now take the opportunity to summarize the message, the key message that we want to leave the audience with.
The key message is when you get to that moment and that thought of the desire to eat pops up, just say, wait, get back to my body. Am I hungry? No, I'm not hungry. Okay, if eating didn't exist, what am I going to do in this moment? And start creating thoughts, start creating actions. They're unlimited, absolutely unlimited. But one thing I want to say, because eating works instantly in that moment. It does work. That's the problem. It works because it's a pleasurable action you know how to do. So, as you're putting eating back in order, you get that in order. Now your life starts to surface, and now you start handling your life with your own thoughts and actions.
So, key message for everyone from my side also, in addition to what Shirley mentioned, is start enjoying smell, sight, music, so that your dopamine blocks
Yes.
are filled without excessive sugar, calories, and saturated fats.
Yeah,
Focus on
that's
all these things. Focus on holistic happiness, on holistic dopamine and all the happy chemicals from a variety of sources rather than simply food and
yes.
to unhealthy food. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shirley. We will meet soon. And thank you, audience, for all the love and support.
Thank you.